Hi, my name is Anne. This is Stitching in Hand, FlossTube number 7. This is a channel about cross stitch and a little bit of sewing. Thank you to all my subscribers. It's great, I've got some new ones, which is fabulous. Thanks to everybody who has returned, and if you're new, of course, I welcome you, and I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe and like and all that good stuff. So, excuse my voice. I did wind up getting COVID last week. I feel 1,000 times better now, but I can hear it in my voice. I do sound a little, not quite myself, but I feel fine. As it turned out, my daughter and I both had it. She had it, well, she tested positive first. I think she had a worse case than I did, and it was interesting because her COVID test, the at-home ones, like turned bright red or whatever color the stripe is right away, and it was really dark. And mine took a couple more days before it showed up at all, and it was very light. And I have no idea what that means, but I was wondering, like, are there, can you have a little bit of COVID or a lot of COVID, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting because I do think she was sicker than I was. And she's still really coughing quite a bit. And anyway, my husband did not get it, thank goodness, because that would have been a mess. He has just, had his back surgery about 3 weeks ago. Is it 3 weeks now? Maybe we're on 4 weeks. I'm just grateful that this didn't happen right after his surgery, because who would have fed us? We're fortunate enough that Caitlin, or my daughter, and I could go to our separate, I slept in my office where it's a guest room. She was in her room, my husband was in our room. So we were all separated, and my poor husband was waiting on us. But he did a good job. So we're all happy to be back in the world. Although we will be wearing masks when we're out in public for, I don't know how many more days we have to do that. But anyway, back to work tomorrow. So all that being said, thanks for, I hope that you enjoyed my little video, my FlossTube 6.5 that I did last week. That was like a little mini tour of some of the cross stitches that I have hanging up on my walls. So that was actually kind of fun to do that, but I wasn't feeling great when I was doing it, so it wasn't my best work. But anyway, and I'm still trying to figure this whole FlossTube thing out, and where's a good place to sit in my house, and where's a nice background. Now, here's my mantle, and I've switched it up a little bit for Valentine's Day, which I don't typically do, but I kind of like it. And that little the vase here, or the, what do you call it, picture, there was, my daughter was flipping through her Pinterest account, and we saw this, for Valentine's decorations or something, and it was just a little picture, and they had tree branches that they stuck in there and little tiny hearts. And I was like, oh, that's so cute, I could do that. And so I went outside and I clipped some branches, and I cut out the little hearts on my Cricut machine, and I was pretty proud of myself. So it's very simple little decoration, but I think it was cute. And I put up some other little Valentine stuff there. So I thought I got to get this video done before February is over. So that's why I'm filming today in front of my Valentine's, because I have to take it down soon. Can't leave it up forever. Okay, so I have a lot of finishes today. I'm really pleased with that. So, but I'm going to start with my whips. And I have a lot of whips, but I'm only going to show you the one that I've been working on recently. This one, I don't have a picture because I bought it online. So it was, a downloadable file. I'll put a picture in here. It's called Quaker Tiles on White. This is the only one I'm showing you. So I didn't bring my cardboard or my piece of whiteboard down. I got the two yellow squares down there. I'm telling you, this is just a hard piece to work on. It's going to be really, really pretty when it's done. If I ever finish it. I counted the squares. I think there's like 50 squares. And I don't know, I have about 10 of them done. It's because they're on that angle. It's, I don't know, for me it is tricky. I know that Niecy Lynn says that she struggles with those designs that are on angles like that, some of the Quaker ones. And I'm right there with her. I don't know, I always want to turn it 90 degrees instead of 180 degrees. And anyway, hey, I'm jumping back in here. my whip, the Quaker Tiles on White by Vivian Powers on Etsy, Vivsters I think it is on Etsy. I meant to say that actually I bought that one on the Silk app, and I don't know if you're familiar with the Silk app, but it is, I'm not really, I don't know. I don't know a lot about the Silk app other than I have it on my iPad. Sometimes I sound so stupid. Oh my goodness. So I have it on my iPad and it features, I don't know, let's see, maybe there's 10 different designers on here. Dina Carter from Cherry Hill Stitchery is one of the designers. Jacob DeGraff, Modern Folk Embroidery, also one of the designers. Jan Hicks is on here, and a number of others. And you can buy, now I don't know if, for example, I don't think, Deanna, I think it is, Deanna Carter from Cherry Hill Stitchery. I don't think she offers every one of her patterns on this app. And I don't know if there's a price differential from buying them somewhere else. I don't know. I haven't really looked into that. But I do know that you can buy from different designers on this app, and then it also gives you that option of, you know, like checking off what you've worked on your project, which is not something I usually do unless I'm very confused. So maybe I should use it for this project because I'm a little confused sometimes with those diagonals. But, you know, because it's digital, then you can read the project or the, you know, the chart on your app, on the app on your iPad or your iPhone or whatever device you might be using. So that being said, what the other day I was doing, which I was like, well, this is pretty darn cool. So on the iPad, if you're familiar, you can actually have two windows open at the same time. So I was watching YouTube on one. I think I was watching Niecy Lynn on Friday when I was in bed still. Well, I wasn't really in bed. I was just laying in bed because I was being lazy. Because I'd kind of gotten used to laying in bed every single day for many days in a row. And it's amazing how quickly you can get used to that and kind of enjoy it to a degree. Anyway, so I was watching Niecy Lynn on this side, and then I had the chart on the other side, and I can zoom in on the chart, and it was great. I was understanding why people enjoy putting their patterns or getting their patterns digitally and being able to do that. So anyway, check out the Silk app. It's just SILK, I think. Let me see. Let me try to get to the beginning of this app. Now I can't even, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It's just called Silk. I'm not even sure how I ran across it. It was quite a while ago. And I've only bought the one pattern. But there's, you know, and there's a few freebies on here too. So it's worth taking a look. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled YouTube. Thanks. Oh, but I'm keeping it in this new project bag that I made myself. How cute is that? I love this bag. I just love that fabric. You know, same on the back, and it's this polka dot on the inside. I bought 2 other sets of fabric. I'm gonna make 2 more project bags that I'm kind of excited about. here I'm gone from a girl who had no project bags other than, you know, Ziploc bags or the Amazon bags, to I'm up to 2 now. And I'll have 2 more soon. So, okay. So that is the one thing that I've been working on this week. I did finish a bunch of stuff though. So I'm going to show you those right now. Okay, this is one that I was working on. Oh, look, it's already starting to come undone. I was working on this when my husband was having his surgery, and I finished it up. And this is a little frame. I think I painted this frame a while back. I forget, but I think it turned out cute. I had very little margin around the edges on this one. When I cut the fabric, I messed up on the amount I needed around the edge, so I had to kind of squeeze it in, but it was fine. Worked out fine. I pinned it, and it was all good. This I did on 25 count. No, yeah, I think it was a 25 count lamb's wool linen. And I can't remember now what the floss was that I used. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the last video. It was a variegated, was it a DMC? It could have even, I don't think it was a DMC. No, it wasn't, but I don't remember what it was. But check out my last video, or the video number 6, I think. I'm fairly certain I mentioned it there. Okay, that was by Little House Needleworks, and it's called Schoolgirl Lessons. Schoolgirl Lessons. Okay, the next one that I finished is the 2023 Collector's Heart by Heart and Hand. So many people have been working on this one, and it's interesting because I've seen so many, and I feel like so many of them, I use the called for fabric, which is 32 count Heartland linen, picture this plus, and the called for floss, that Cottage Garden Threads leather bound, which I loved. But I feel like a lot of people's look a lot brighter than mine. I really like mine a lot. I like the darker thread, but I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe the fabric is lighter. I don't know. I don't know what makes it look lighter. Anyway, got that one done, and I had both this one and the Schoolgirl Lessons up on my mantle here before I filmed today, but I took them down so I could show you. All right, a few more. So here are a couple things that I stitched since I've seen you, or since I filmed last, in person last. And I stitched them and finished them. Go figure. I'm kind of excited about that. All right, so this first one is a freebie from Silver Creek Samplers. Oh, here we go. This is Can Do Attitude. So I stitched it, but I eliminated the 2023. I just stitched the I can and I will part. And this is what mine turned out like. I think it's really cute. And this gave me some practice working on these little flat, what do you call them? It's not a flat fold. Flat, I don't know what you call them. But I was watching The Proper Stitcher, and you know what she says about she'd rather have a finished project than a perfectly unfinished project. I forget exactly, but basically what she's trying to say is just finish your projects, even if it's not going to end up perfect. It's better to have them done, and I completely agree with her, and she really inspired me to get a few projects done this week. So that was one that I stitched and finished during our time apart. Here is another one that I stitched and finished during our time apart. And this one, I had my daughter paint this frame this morning. I shouldn't have stuck it in here. It's dry, but you know what? I have to, I already like nicked it. So I do have to varnish it or something. I'm just being a little bit anxious. I wanted to get it in the frame. But this was called, let me see here, wait. This is by Threadworks Primitives. Here's the, and it's Quaker block print. Couple things about this one. I stitched it on Belfast linen, and the floss is the silk floss that I purchased from Mrs. Sadis on Etsy. And here, I'll show you the floss. It's a purplish blue. I think the color is hyacinth. I stitched that big Quaker piece that I did in 2020, that Linens and Threads sal that they offered. I showed you that in a past video. It's not framed, but it's stitched. That was on a white Belfast linen. Is Belfast linen, can it be white? Or does Belfast have something to do with the color? I'm not sure. Anyhow, I like this a lot. Though if I'd had a green floss like in the picture, I definitely would have done the green because I think that would have looked pretty cool. But I'm happy with it. Now, two things. Okay, there's no J in this alphabet, which I know is not unusual for a sampler. I thought it was a little unusual for like a modern sampler. I kind of assumed all the letters would be there, and I didn't even notice until I was stitching along, and then I was like, wait, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But it's fine, it's not there. But I did notice what to me was a mistake. Maybe it was intentional on the part of the designer, I don't know. But in this area here, I don't know how many stitches this is down, say it's 9. This was only 8. And I didn't like that. And I thought, you know, if this were the full motif, it would be the same on all 4 sides. So I went ahead and just changed it so that it matched. Nothing else needed to be changed, actually. None of this moved. All of that was the same, but there was just like, I'm trying to think. I think it was this, like from here to here. There was one row missing. So I've changed it just because I knew it was gonna bug me when I looked at it, so that's that. So I have to finish that frame. I don't know. Can I just spray it with something? Probably. I don't know. I don't think I have anything upstairs. My daughter suggested Mod Podge. Can you use Mod? Is that how you say it? Mod Podge? I don't know. I don't know if that will work. Anywho, okay. Now 2 more that I finished. That oldies but goodies. Really oldies but goodies. This one, 1997, and I finished it. Look, I'm so excited. Now this one, I remember showing this to you folks in the past, and this is, what do you call that? Oh, satin stitch. And it pulled, like all these little roof tiles, you know, kind of pulls the fabric. And I didn't really know how to straighten it. So I just said, I don't even care. It's fine. So I just did the little fold or flat fold or whatever you call this. Somebody tell me what it's called so I don't sound so silly. And then I had some fabric to do this one in the back. And so these corners, check out those corners. They look pretty good, don't they? I'm very pleased with my corners. The ones on the bottom aren't quite as nice, but I really struggle. Now, the more I'm doing it, the better I'm getting at the corners. But I cannot, for love nor money, make those corners really square and tight just with the glue. So I go back and I end up stitching the corners. Here, I'll show you. I mean, this is not entirely finished back here, but you know, just stitched it up real tight right there, and it just pulls it together nicely, and it does wonders. I mean, it makes a huge difference. So I'm pleased with that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll maybe find a little easel or something to put it on. Well, you know, I can lean it against the wall. Who knows? But I'm just pleased that I finished it. Oh, and that was that was the Drawn Thread, by the Drawn Thread, the Welcome Spot Sampler. I'm guessing that was 1997 that I stitched this. So if you think I remember what I stitched it on, you're wrong. But I probably, back in 1997, I just did exactly what the pattern said. So I could virtually guarantee that I stitched it on 28 count taupe casual linen, because that's what the pattern said to do. And I did not think for myself back in 19, no, I did think for myself. But you know what I mean. I just didn't realize that you could kind of vary and pick your own stuff. I wasn't that wise. Now this one, also pretty sure it's by the Drawn Thread, because it's in a similar vein, but I can't find the pattern. And there I was, like, what, 2 weeks ago, telling you how organized I was with all my patterns. I think I took this pattern out and showed you last time, or at one time, when I was showing you this unfinished project. Oop, what's that right there? So I can't find it. It's around somewhere. I'm not as organized as I sometimes claim to be, but sometimes I am. Anyway, this is an old frame that not an old frame. It's a frame I've had for a long time, but it's been getting beaten up because I've had it for such a long time. I may have even purchased it for this particular project. I don't know, but it's done, and I'm happy about that. So now I have a few plans. Let me see. Okay, here's what I want to do. I need some advice. I want to get started on this project. I don't think this is a very good photo, because I've seen Elizabeth Ann can stitch. She did this one. It was gorgeous. So pretty. And it's just a shame to me that some of the designers, not all of them, I mean, and I don't know how, if it can be helped or not, but I just feel like a lot of times the photos are just, they lack so much, and I think they would sell better if the photo was better. Anyway, like, I probably never would have picked this if I hadn't seen the one that Liz did. It was gorgeous. So anyway, that being said, it's Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs. I am thinking about stitching it on 40 count. Am I crazy to do that? Because it's pretty big. Now, as I was thinking about this today, I thought, well, you know, Anne, why don't you just get a small project and work on a little small project that's 40 count and see how you like it? Which is a good idea. And then I realized in going through my stuff tonight, I do have a project that's 40 count that I'm working on right now. It's by the Blue, hold on, I'm gonna grab it. Okay, hopefully I can cut that part out. It is the Blue Flower Acorns. I know I've showed you this, but it didn't occur to me until today when I was looking at it. Well, wow, this is tiny. And this is 40 count. Now, that being said, you can see I'm not finished with this. And I set it down. Did I set it down because it's hard to stitch, because it's 40 count? No, I think I had a mistake in here or something. I don't know. Maybe at 40 count is just too ambitious. It says this in the picture, it was stitched on 36 count. So maybe I should just do 36 count, because that's not too far off 32 count, which is what I usually use. But I kind of like the idea of just using one strand of floss. I don't know. Any advice you want to give me would be great, because I'm unsure about that. But I'm going to go through my floss and see what I have, and then go ahead and order the rest. Hopefully at the beginning of this week. And it's just a project I want to have tucked away so I can work on it as my mood allows. Two more I want to work on. This one by Bent Creek, Luck. I don't have any of those. Oh, actually I might have a couple of those colors. And what is the fabric it calls for? I don't know. I'm sure that I will probably just use some fabric that I have upstairs. We'll see about that. And then this is another one. Now, I keep saying I want to stitch all these. Well, of course I want to stitch them. That's why I bought them. This is Jardin Privé. What is it called? Jardin de Bobine? I don't know. Garden of Bobbins. Or spools. I think I kept calling them bobbins in my last, or in one of my videos when I was talking about spools, actually. So that's like a easy one. So I might get started on that one too. Okay, what else? Oh, okay. Now I was going to look at this before I started, and I did not have an opportunity. I wanted to show you a book from my collection. This one is from Better Homes and Gardens. It's called America's Best Cross Stitch. This sampler on the front reminds me a little bit of a sampler I have in my house. I think I included in my video. It was a sampler I made, I think, in 1989. I was busy, and is that the year I got married? No, that's the year I met my husband. But apparently I had time on my hands because I got a lot of stitching completed in 1989. But I made a sampler for my mom years ago, and it reminds me of what is in this book. So I'm wondering if maybe the sampler actually is in this book. I'll have to look a little more thoroughly. It's one that it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then each letter corresponds with a flower. Like A was anemone, B, I don't know, B. Can't think of a flower that starts with B. Bluebell. Maybe it was bluebell. Okay. So I'm just going to page through here really, really quick and see if that's where I have a feeling that sampler, I'll put a picture of the sampler in here too. I have a feeling that sampler was in a magazine. Anyway, this is a cute book though. I do like this book. Here's a few samplers that are in here. And that was not the one that reminded me of the flower one that I made for my mom. But anyhow, this is a nice book. If you're interested in checking it out for yourself. I just took out one book today. Okay, let's see what else. I think that's all. Thank you if you've stuck around this long, thank you. Thank you for bearing with me. Like I said, I'm still working out the fine points of this YouTube thing, and see, I feel like I'm a little low in this video. Maybe this chair is too low. Maybe I need a higher chair. It's a work in progress. It is a work in progress. But thanks for joining me, and thank you for your comments and all your well wishes when I was feeling ill. I appreciate that so much. It's good to feel good again. You know, when you're sick, you really appreciate good health. I mean, I think I appreciate good health all the time, but yeah, appreciate it even more when you're not feeling very well. So, but you know what? I'm not going to complain because this is the first time I've gotten COVID, and we're nearly 3 years into this. So I feel very grateful that I've been able to avoid it up until now. So anyway, I hope you are all healthy and happy, and that you enjoy some stitching this week. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.